What's up everybody, Dadbod here, and welcome to part 5 of the Bloodborne walkthrough. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the last episode, we started to make our way through the Cathedral Ward and we arrived at a door that told us, do not go any further, hunters are not welcome. So, in this episode we're going to do precisely the opposite. We're going to charge through and see what lies beyond. Alright, here we go. Let's see, we're going to warp back to Old Yharnam, which is the last lamp that we just activated. And so we're going to go through these double doors here. And it takes us to what is ultimately an optional area. It's going to take us to the third boss that we're going to fight, and that is the blood-starved beast. But first, there are some challenges that lay ahead, but I am going to show you exactly how to get through it all. Alright, here we go. Got our hand lantern equipped for a little bit of extra light. Got our trusty saw cleaver and hunter's pistol. I have the tiny music box equipped. I do not need that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put fire paper on because I'm going to use that against the boss. I'm also going to use pungent blood cocktails against the boss, so we'll put those on as well. Alright, so we're going to open these doors. And, oof. Okay, here we go. This is Old Yharnam.
You there? Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back
Yes.
at once. Old Yharnam, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are of no harm to those alive. Turn back, or the hunter will face the hunt.
Okay, that guy talking to us, his name is Djura, and he is sitting right there on top of that clock tower. Let's see if we can zoom in and see him. Yeah, you can kind of see him. He's kind of right there in the middle of my crosshairs, and he is manning a gatling gun. We'll see what that's all about in a minute. You'll see that this is, there's a lot of burning, looks like little crosses here. There are a lot of beasts in the area. If you remember from the earlier lower note, you'll remember that Old Yharnam was overrun by beasts. The Scourge of the Beasts was not friendly to Old Yharnam, and so I guess the powers that be decided that it was in the best interest of everybody just to burn it all to the ground. And so you'll see a lot of charred remains of buildings that once were. Before we move in there, we have a skull head over here that we want to take care of. We can catch up to him before he disappears on us. Let's see, there we go. Alright, we got him. And he left us some bloodstone shards, and in chasing him, we left that item behind. So we're going to have to do a little bit of backtracking, but not too bad. So here's what you do. When you go down to this area, you're forced to drop down. If you follow this path, you should be able to do it without taking damage. You drop down to here, and there's some enemies waiting for you. It's this little ghost fella, but do not be alarmed by this other one that wants to ambush you. So we're going to kill the guy that would have ambushed us first. And let's go ahead and sneak up on this guy, see if we can get the edge on him. There we go, perfect. So these ghost figures, they can actually poison you. So what they will do, there's two types of poison in this game. There's slow poison and rapid poison. So slow poison, once you get it, it just kind of, as you would expect, would just slowly deplete your HP bar unless you use an antidote. So that's something to watch out for. So here we just picked up the Hunter's Torch. Hunter's Torch is really, it's just a fancier version of the torch. You'll see that it scales with a B in Arcane instead of a D. Does a little bit extra fire, so hey, might as well equip it. We're not really going to use the torch much, especially since we got the hand lantern here equipped, but just good to have, and it's something that I don't want you to miss on your playthrough. So this part's a little bit trickier. You have to drop down onto this little ledge here, and then drop down to the ground, and if you do it that way, you should avoid taking any damage. Now, of course, this gate does not open from the side. Surprise, surprise, but we're going to get around to it later, and it's going to prove to be a very nice shortcut for us once we do get there. So, all we can do now is go up the stairs, go up the ladder. It's almost like a loading screen, these ladders, just how long some of them take to get up. But that's okay. Alright, up here we have an item, some cold blood dew. not bad, and then now we're back to where we started. Since I missed this item chasing our skullhead friend, I'm going to go ahead and drop down and get it. It's another bloodstone shard, so, you know, good thing to have for sure. And then we just got to follow the path we just took and circle back around. I just want to make sure that we don't miss any items, and so wanted to go ahead and get that while it's fresh on my mind. So let's go ahead and circle back around, go back up our friendly ladder, and we're going to see what's in store for us in terms of who this Djura guy is and what he intends to do with us. Clearly, hunters are not welcome here, so, and he seems to be policing the area to make sure that that sign that we just ignored is in fact obeyed. In fact, I think Djura is probably the one who put that sign there. Alright, so we're going to run through these burning remains and see, you know, of course this place is in disarray, it's been abandoned. Now these little pillars of smoke, they essentially serve as a means for these little beast fellas to hide. And these beast enemies, they do pack a bit of a punch. You don't want to sleep on them because they can hit you pretty hard. And you always want to be aware whenever you see these little smoke pillars to be cognizant of, you know, something might jump out at you. So you see there's another beast right in front of us. He's kind of in hibernation, but he will attack you if you get close enough. So make sure you anticipate that and go up and get the kill easily. Actually, I think we missed an item back here. I'm going to go back and get it just to make sure. Yes, in this corner. Just some blood vials, always good to have. We had max, but now we have 6 more in our storage inventory, which, you know, might come in use later. So I think back here, here's another ghost, and he's guarding an item. You'll see that little, he hit us, and so you see that icon at the top that has a meter. Once that meter gets all the way up, you're going to have slow poison status. But fortunately it didn't get all the way up, so we didn't get slow poison. But if you let that meter build, if you're not careful, if it gets all the way full, you'll get the status effect for whatever's building up. So there we picked up some tier 2 cold blood, not bad. And here is where our friend Djura gets a little bit serious.
Adept, merciless. I've cut with blood, as the best hunters are.
Well, at least he acknowledges that we're good. So what all I did here is I just lured these enemies back here because I want to fight them back here, not up there, and you'll see why. Djura, I believe, has some extra. Ooh, took that hit. I ran out of stamina, but I got a blood gem. Not bad. Alright, let's see.
Which is why I must stop you.
So, that is the end of his dialogue for now, and you'll see he's got a big gatling gun up there, and if you pop out from safety, he's going to try to kill you. So, rather intimidating, and it might even call into question if you should even be here yet, but the answer to that is yes, we should be here. You just have to be very strategic about how you go about the rest of this level. So, just make sure that you have appropriate cover. You'll notice that there's a gap here in the railing, and that's exactly where we're going to go. We're going to drop down the gap, and a lot of this area provides, you know, cover from his gatling gun. You'll see he doesn't have a direct line of sight, so he can't really hit you from here. Alright, back here we have another bloodstone shard. We are loading up on those, which is nice. And in here, we're going to have some enemies, so make sure that we dispose of them properly. Alright. That one is a little bit stronger. You'll notice his eyes are red, which means he's kind of berserked, which means he's going to do a little bit more damage, and, you know, we're going to have to make sure we're on our game. So let's go ahead and equip our antidotes here. We're going to need these for the boss fight, and they're just good to have on us in case we do pick up that poison. I'm going to go ahead and take off pebbles as well, because I'm not really going to be using those much anymore. Alright, let's circle around here, make sure that we pick up everything. And he's going to try to fire at us in the meantime, but as long as you stay on the move, you should be good. Okay, so this takes us back up to where we were before. It's kind of a loop, but we'll drop back down. Unfortunately, we did take a little bit of damage, so let's heal up. Alright, so we got the item over there. So this next part, you'll notice there's some beasts in here, and you'll see those tiny little canisters on the ground. Those are actually flammable, so if Djura shoots them with his gatling gun, they're going to blow up. So you want to make sure that you're not around to take that kind of damage, because that will not end well for you. So what I usually do, You see there's an item back there. Is I usually just book it. I book it, I run fast. You'll see this little slanted up piece of wood over here, and that's your way up. And yeah, he did kind of blow up a lot of those canisters. And a lot of times, you know, if he doesn't... Oh, okay, I was not careful enough. That's what happens if you're not careful. I think you can ultimately take enough damage to die, which fortunately we didn't do because he already blew up some of the canisters before we just made that stupid mistake. But why I came back over here is because there's an item over here. We got some more antidotes, and antidotes are our friend. There is some interesting lore when it comes to Old Yharnam. So poison in this game is caused by a condition known as ashen blood, and apparently there is an outbreak of ashen blood in Old Yharnam, which caused an outbreak of people being sick and poisoned. And if you read the item description for the antidotes, whoops, I just unequipped them. A small medicinal tablet that counteract poison used to treat ashen blood, the baffling sickness that ravaged Old Yharnam long ago. These tablets only provide short-term relief. The ashen blood ailment eventually triggered the spread of the beastly scourge. So that gives us some good insight into the history of Old Yharnam. So it looks like, you know, a lot of folks in Old Yharnam were plagued with this ashen blood, and the antidotes only helped them temporarily. But it sounds like a lot of them may have tried to use some of that mysterious Yharnam blood to heal themselves, and then the scourge of the beast spread, hence all of the beasts around here, and hence the fact they had to burn this place to the ground. And so that's a little bit of lore on Old Yharnam and why it is the way it is currently. And we'll learn a little bit more about our friend Djura up there as we go too. So around this corner, you're going to want to run because Djura can technically hit you out here, but there's some fire paper that we want to get. So let's go ahead and get that and then run back. Stay on the move, don't stop, because he can hit you with that gatling gun. So around this corner, there's some sleeping beasts. Don't sleep on them, otherwise they will sneak up behind you and surprise you. And okay, let's use a blood vial, and there's going to be someone that busts through that door, so be aware. Do not be surprised. Oops, I'm being kind of sloppy here with my saw cleaver. And beware of that grab attack. That can be pretty nasty. More antidotes. So if you go in here, there is an item waiting for us, and it is a blood-tinged gemstone. This is a gemstone that you can equip on your gun, and it will increase, you know, because guns scale off of blood tinge since they use the quicksilver bullets or the blood bullets, which, you know, of course are a blood-based item. So there's a lot of these little beasts. Oh geez, oh geez, we were in range. I was not being careful. And that gatling gun can kill you in no time flat, so make sure you're being careful, unlike what I was just doing. Anyways, you'll see the smoke. There's a lot of beasts in this area, so what I like to do is I like to run, get their attention, and then run back into here so I'm not in range of the gatling gun. So I'm going to run out here, cause all these things to wake up. Oh gosh. And then run back in here. Make sure our health is topped off. And these guys do not want to play nice. And I might die here. Oh gosh. Yep. Nope, not dead. Okay. Normally I pull this off a little bit better. You can kind of use that doorway as a choke point. And I didn't really do that very effectively. But again, better to fight them in here than to fight them while getting shot at. So that's my philosophy. Okay. I'm not setting a very good example in terms of being careful, but... So out here, if you get in this corner, it does serve as kind of a safe spot from his bullets. You see he can't really reach you up there. So if you get in this corner, you're more or less safe. But if, again, as you saw earlier, if you're fighting him back kind of where that smoke is, you might get picked off by him. So just make sure you're being careful. And there is actually an item behind this statue that we want. And you can see there's a ghost and a beast that just woke up on us. So let's run back over here and lure them into here so we can be out of range of our friend Djura. Alright, is the ghost following us in here too? Can't tell. No, he's not. So we can get him out here. As long as we're staying behind this statue, provides cover for us, we're in good shape. Alright, let's get back behind the statue. Wait for his bullets to stop. We can run out. And there's an item, Cold Blood Dew Tier 3. So, worth it. Let's see if he shoots at us again. Once he stops, we're going to run back. And again, once we kind of get into this corner, we're more or less safe. So this guy is a hunter. He's hostile. There's no way to befriend him whatsoever. And he behaves kind of weird. He kind of runs. If you stand in this space, he kind of runs back and forth. So I kind of just bait him out. And if he tries to attack me, he's got a saw spear. I just try to parry him. Maybe it'd be better just to attack him like normal. But be careful, because Djura can shoot you out here, so... Get that rally damage back. That wasn't a good... Alright, so he'll run back out at you, he'll try to shoot you. Try to get him back out here. You do not want to fight him out there, because Djura can shoot you in that area. Now he's just being stupid. Let's see if I can get him to... There we go. Alright, back up. This is kind of a cheesy way of going about it, but... Djura is a problem, and you have to factor him into the equation whenever you're around here. Alright, come on. Alright, he's almost gone. Yeah, I guess your best bet is just to kind of let him do his attack, but just make sure you're out of range and then run up and wail on him. So, he's gone. Alright, and he is a hunter. He's not going to respawn, so once you kill him, you kill him. The reason why we wanted to kill him, well, he gives us some blood echoes. Again, if you run out here, you're going to be in range of Djura's gatling gun. But we do want to go, there's kind of a secret area you can drop down back there. So we want to make sure that we don't miss that. So again, if you take cover, you should be fine against the bullets. Did take a couple hits there, but in general. Alright, let's run back here. There's some crows over there. We are really running low on blood vials, but should be alright. Is there an item around here? I can't tell. I can't remember if there's an item around this statue. But what we really want is down here. So if you roll, you can drop down here and drop down here. And this is kind of a secret area that is very easy to miss, but there's some good items in here. And this is a place, it is littered with enemies, so approach it very carefully. And again, I know I've been kind of a bad example so far in this video. I've just been kind of charging in and taking a bunch of hits, being a little sloppy. But I'm giving you a good example of what not to do. And we needed those 6 blood vials for sure. Alright. Okay. See, we see that poison building up. That's why we have our antidotes equipped. And you can see a lot of, look at all these beasts. You don't want them all attacking you at once, that is for sure. So again, you can kind of use this door as a choke point. Get our rally damage back. Look at all those enemies. Yeah, don't want to be doing this all at once here. So some of them might notice me and come over here. Get a couple of them to notice me. Just give them a charge attack. One charge attack did him. Get this guy while we're at it. He's got quite a bit of HP. Looks like this guy may have noticed us. We'll take care of him. There is some good loot in this room, which is why we're coming in here. Alright, let's get this guy. Alright, we got a blood gemstone. More blood gemstones. So you can see we're picking up a lot of these, and we'll, when we get back to the Hunter's Dream, we'll check a lot of these out and see if they're better than the ones we have equipped currently. These are all very early game, low level. Here's another one in the treasure chest. Yeah, these are all very early game, low level blood gemstones, so there's probably not a huge difference among the ones we've picked up, but we'll make sure that our equipment is optimal before we fight the next boss for sure. Alright, let's have a little look around. Just keep in mind that there's more beasts that are roaming. And back around this corner, we get the rifle spear. That is a weapon that does give you a lot of range. It has a nice charge attack that kind of is, you know, it allows you to, you know, let's equip it and I'll show you. No, we can't even put it on. We don't have enough blood tinge. It requires 9 blood tinge. It transforms into a rifle, though. It's pretty cool. It is called the rifle spear, after all. But when you use it, you know, it has a nice long-range attack, and so it is useful if you're trying to get something that's a little bit further away from you. All right, we have a note here. The red mood hangs low, and beasts rule the streets. Are we left no other choice than to burn it all to cinders? Well, apparently that is what they did. They burned it all to the ground. Alright, so here we have the Charred Hunter set. The Charred Hunter set's actually really good. As the name would imply, it's very good against fire. And it actually looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Let's see. And it's pretty strong armor. We're gaining some fire resistance. You know, not bad. This one is, you know, increases our fire and our base physical defense. And the trousers increase our fire. So, yeah, it's a pretty good set. Looks a little bit tattered. Pretty cool. It flows. Now, once you drop down here, see that clock tower, you are in range of Djura. So you're going to want to kind of make a break for it. Although we do have an item right there. So let's get the item and run for our lives. And we're going to run all the way back here. And here we are. So, this is technically the way forward. If you climb this ladder, this actually will take you to Djura's perch. You can fight him. He will automatically be hostile. He is very tough to beat at this point in the game. He will most likely outmatch if you try to kill him. There's actually a way to befriend him. We can't do that right now, but that's actually what I'm going to do, is because he gives you some cool stuff, and he expounds on some interesting lore if you do befriend him. But we're going to get a little peek. See, there he is. He's up there. That's our friend Djura. He will immediately attack you once you get to the very top of the ladder. We're not going to fight him. As I mentioned, we're going to try to befriend him later. But you can fight him. He's right there if you want to take him on and see what you're made of. He is very tough. So at this point, you can either go back to where we came, or you can drop down here. I do recommend dropping down because it allows access to some other stuff. And this guy would try to ambush you. He did not drop down. He gave us a blood vial as well. So this is a nice little area you can explore. There's some loot out here that we're going to pick up, so definitely want to come this way. Now, this chained thing here, you can actually hit it, and it will drop and cause lots of damage. There's a lot of enemies down there, and this will cause an explosion that you want to take advantage of. So definitely do that. You'll see we got some mad blood echoes from that, and then a lot of the enemies that didn't actually die from that explosion are now weakened. So we can take advantage of that later once we get down there, because we will get down there. So walk very carefully across these rafters. We'll get some extra items. Madman's Knowledge, not bad. Let's see, there's some other stuff down there. It is kind of confusing to work your way around and get everything up here, just because there is so much extra stuff. So if you drop down here, there's another item, and it can be very tricky because if you don't drop down at the right spot, you're gonna fall all the way down and die. Okay, so here we go. So they the survivors just noticed us. That's why you heard that roar, and that roar is actually what kind of berserks them or empowers them to do more damage. So here we got some Molotov cocktails, and you'll see there's an item over there. Now, to get there, we have to jump onto that little platform, and jumping in this game is very difficult. Basically, you have to hold circle and sprint, and then you let go real quick and press circle again, and you'll jump, and it is very difficult to make that jump. I'm going to try to do it. I can't make any guarantees that we're going to make it. We did make it. Okay, good deal. So we get over here, and this item doesn't really do a whole lot. It is the Bloody Messenger head bandage. And so there's actually a place in the Hunter's Dream where you can go and you can give the messengers kind of headgear to wear, and every time they pop up, you know, whether it be at a headstone or at a lamp or wherever, they're actually going to be wearing that headgear that you give them. So this is actually something you can just give them. It's purely cosmetic, but some people just like to do it. An accessory adored by naive messengers imitating the bandages of scourged victims, unaware of their meaning. The spatters of blood give it a particularly nice touch. The inhabitants of the stump appear to have an interest in adornment. Why not let them be happy and revel as babes? So this one actually looks kind of creepy. There's one we'll get later that I actually kind of like, so we'll hold off on giving the messengers their attire or their headgear until that point. Alright, so now I gotta drop down here and then drop down here. There's no way to make this final drop without taking damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop and I'm going to run up those stairs, which is technically the way that you should go, that you should get down here from. So we're going to do that. We're going to run up these stairs. Let's heal up real quick. We're going to run up the stairs, and then we're going to approach this area kind of the quote-unquote normal way. But first there's going to be lots of enemies that we need to deal with, as you can see. And again, we don't want to deal with them all at once. We kind of want them to funnel their way towards us. And that one that we killed would have dropped down from up there to surprise us, but we got to him before he got to us, so no problem. Let's do it. Did a transform attack there, but he got out of the way. He's trying to poison me, but did not quite get it. Some blood vials. We do need blood vials. There's also a little pathway over here. I'm not sure if there's an item we can get over here. I think there is. Alright, yes, we can drop down here. And then drop down here. And then there's another item, some Cold Blood Dew Tier 2. And then again, the only way out, I believe, is to drop down to the ground here. Alright. And avoid this fire, because it can damage you as well. Alright, so let's run back up the stairs and see if we can lure some of these guys to follow us and take them on. Alright, there's a big guy over here. Get the edge on him. And that's where that upgraded stamina is gonna come into play for us, because you get that one extra hit, and that's the difference maker with them. But be careful over here, because people can sneak up on you, and got some bloodstone shards, sneak up on you and give you a bad time, and you don't want that to happen. I believe we took care of everything up here, just double checking. There is an item up here that we missed. Antidotes. Good deal. Alright, so I think we're safe to go on and try to... In fact, I'm going to equip some Molotovs. Might make our life a little bit easier. Oh, here we go. Just have one guy here by himself. Let's see if we can get some of these to group up together. Throw a Molotov at him. No, that just hit one. Oh, we can get these two now at the same time. Oh, how did that miss them? Come on, that is lame. Alright. How are we missing? Oh, geez. So now you can see we're poisoned. Nothing that little antidote can't fix. Oops, we used our blood vial, not our antidote. So you see our HP is draining ever so slowly. That's the result of the slow poison. So let's use our antidote. Top off our health. Okay. So now we're back to normal. Okay. Keep hearing footsteps, and I'm just paranoid that it's behind me. Alright. Let's get this guy. Doesn't have a chance. And we get some more Madman's Knowledge. Alright, looks like we got another guy down here. Make sure there's nothing behind us. Let's get this guy. Alright. Got a decent amount of blood echoes for our trouble as well. So, not bad. Alright, I think we cleared out this area. We got all the items, and we killed all the enemies. So, this is Ritual Blood Tier 1. Let's check it out. Material used in a Holy Chalice ritual. One of the basic ingredients used to satiate a Holy Chalice is this incoagulable blood. When all is melted in blood, all is reborn. So if you remember our last conversation with Gehrman, he mentioned something about a Holy Chalice allowing us to access the tombs below Yharnam. And of course, you remember our talk with Alfred. Alfred said that those tombs below Yharnam are where the Holy Medium was found, which led to the blood healing practices of the healing church. So that is actually a ritual item that we're going to be able to use if we want to access the chalice dungeons. And we don't even have a chalice yet, but that is an item that we are going to need if we do want to access the chalice dungeons at a later point. Alright, bunch of crows here. Don't let them all attack you at once. Oh. I'm being a very bad example. As soon as I said that, they all attacked me at once. But that's okay. We took care of them nonetheless. They're all dead. Go us. Okay. All that for an item over here. A couple bloodstone shards. We're going to be able to do a lot of upgrading with all these bloodstone shards. Pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Okay. So, out here we have an item. 6 more blood vials, and through this door we have a ladder. And this ladder is going to take us back to kind of where that ladder up to Djura was. And this allows us to open up a little shortcut. This is not the biggest shortcut the level has to offer, but it is quite handy. So here we are, we're back. There's the ladder up to Djura. So it is quite a handy little shortcut. If we were to die between now and when we get the next shortcut, we would definitely be using this one, because it'll cut off that huge area with all of those ghosts and beasts. And so, yeah, it would cut off a nice chunk of fighting that we'd have to do if we did have to go back through this part of the level. Alright, so this is the way forward. And you'll notice around this corner we've got smoke. And what I said before about the smoke are there are usually beasts hiding behind the smoke. Maybe not in that particular case, but there are beasts that are going to sneak up on us. Yep, see, there they are. Here they come. Do not let these all hit you at once, because if they all hit you at once, it could very well kill you, because these guys, when they hit, they do pack a bit of a punch. I believe there's a skull head over here. You may have already triggered it. There it is. So if you trigger it, it'll run away and disappear, but in that case we didn't trigger it, so it's still there for us, and we got 3 extra bloodstone shards from it. Again, if it runs away and disappears, once you clear the area, you kill these beasts around here, you can quit and reload your game. The beasts will not respawn, but the skull head will respawn. So here, got a nice wide open area. And look at that, we got a couple wolf beasts that want to play. Do not get both of their attention at the same time. I mean, they are both together. I mean, it's kind of RNG. Sometimes you get one right here and then the other one's kind of far away. In this case, they're both right next to each other, and I do not want to fight them both at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can lure one of them away. And they're patrolling like right next to each other. Okay, now they're splitting up. So this one's taking the path down there. Let's go ahead and get this one. Alright, here we go. Alright, now that they're not right next to each other, helps us out quite a bit. With the item back here, we got some more pungent blood cocktails, which are actually very useful for the next boss. And we'll get this beast down here. Roll through his attack, get behind him. And make quick work of him. And here we have some more bloodstone shards. Now this gate, of course, you guessed it, does not open from this side. We'll get through there later. But some nice little items over here. Lots of bloodstone shards. Okay, so onwards we go. So here we have a little junction. We can turn left, which is what we're going to do. And you'll notice up there is a wolf beast. He doesn't seem to care that we're right here. But as soon as we turn this corner, get this item, turn back, he drops down and wants to play. Did not do very well against us, though. We were ready for him. So what we just picked up there, this is the first occurrence of beast blood pellets. Large medicinal pellets, supposedly formed of coagulated beast blood, banned by the Healing Church due to their unclear origin, grants a spurt of beasthood. Ripping apart the flesh of one's enemies and being rained upon by their spattering blood invigorates one's senses of beasthood, feeding strength and euphoric feeling alike. So if you pop one of these, it allows you to tap into beasthood, and the idea behind it is there's a little bit of beast inside of everybody. So maybe the Scourge of the Beast is really just revealing what's inside everybody anyways. But if you pop a beast blood pellet, what it does is there'll be a meter that appears at the top of the screen, kind of similar to poison, but it's not a negative status effect. What it is it if you chain your attacks together very, very quickly, that beast meter will increase, and that'll increase the amount of damage you do. On the converse side, the higher that meter gets, the more damage you take. So it is a trade-off between dealing damage and kind of weakening your defense. So your damage dealt is going to increase, but your defense is going to decrease, and you're going to take more damage every time you take a hit. So it is a risky proposition. A lot of speedrunners like to use it because it makes them, get through bosses quickly. However, for a beginner, I would not exactly recommend it because it can make your life a little bit more difficult in terms of, you might die in 1 or 2 hits from a boss, whereas before you might be able to absorb a bit more from them. So I'm not really going to be using him much, but you might be able to experiment with him. And be careful. There's a beast that jumps through this door. Scared me the first time pretty significantly. So I'm just giving you a heads up so you don't have to get a fresh pair of underwear. Okay, so we're going to go through this little building that he opened up, because before that door is closed, he jumped right through it. Be careful, there are beasts in this area. So be ready when you turn that corner for the beast. I do not believe there's anything back here. So we're going to run up these stairs, and run up some more stairs, and there's going to be an item here, but another beast is waiting for us. So make sure you turn that corner and you engage him immediately, otherwise he'll sneak up on you, because over here you have a shiny. Some more bloodstone shards. So if you focus on that first, he's going to sneak up behind you and get a good lick on you. So just make sure you're ready for him. Alright. And lo and behold, this is our big shortcut back to the beginning of the level. So we've gotten through that gate, but before we go through there and go back to the lantern to level up, got some more fire paper up here. So that is all I wanted to show you in here. We're actually going to go back to the Hunter's Dream. We're going to level up some of our weapons. We're going to level up our stats, and then we'll head back and get through the rest of Old Yharnam. So this is a very nice shortcut. I mean, literally it lets you skip just about everything we just did. It lets you skip all of Djura. So it is definitely one you want to get. And, you just go up that ladder. We're right here next to our lantern. Perfect. Alright, let's go back to the Hunter's Dream. We have some business that we want to take care of before we fight the next boss. Got a lot of blood echoes here. Don't want those to be at risk. But first things... Ooh, he left a note for us. The Holy Chalice is said to be enshrined in Old Yharnam, seated in the valley. Basically a summary of what he told us when we talked to him. Alright, so let's fortify. Our Saw Cleaver we can't take up anymore because it's already at +3. But our Kirk Hammer we're going to take up, and we're going to use that in a little bit here. In the next area. So now that we have our saw cleaver all the way up, our Kirk hammer all the way up, we got 15 of them left. Let's go ahead and take my pistol up one level. I want to leave some because there's going to be another weapon that we're going to get that I'm going to want to upgrade pretty much immediately. So I want to make sure that we still have some left over for that. So we can check out some of these blood gems we got. Let's see, this one, yeah, it gives us a bit extra attack. We'll go and put that one on. And then, yeah, we can put some stuff on our Kirk hammer now as well. It gives us 33 attack, plus 33, so that's about as... Yeah, all of these are physical attack up plus 0.7, so not really a huge gain. So you'll notice that this one doesn't give us an option to put anything on this slot. That's because the blood gems have specific shapes. So this one is I believe a radial shape, and this is a triangle shape. We don't have any triangle blood gems yet, so we can't put anything in the slot. But the blood gems are broken out into these different shapes, and you have to equip. You know, the slots themselves are shape specific. So for this one, we have to find a triangle shape in order to equip it. So in that case, we don't have any triangles yet, so we can't equip that slot yet. Not a big deal, but it is what it is. Okay. Nope, we want to level up.
Welcome home, good hunter. I must have drifted off. What is it you desire?
Let's see if she has anything to say to us.
Over time, countless hunters have visited this stream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now. Over time,
That's kind of interesting. You know, we're not the first hunter, probably not the last hunter. You know, a lot of people have come through here already.
Very well. Let me stand close.
All right, let's see here. Give ourselves some more health. See what skill does. Skill, you know, it does increase our damage a little bit. Strength, I'm going to go ahead and take our strength to 20, I guess. Give ourselves some more stamina. So we're getting quite a few levels. We're getting 4 levels out of this, so not bad. So we're up to level 25 now. That should be more than enough for the next boss.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your...
And again, I mean, you don't have to follow my build exactly. If you, for example, wanted to use that rifle spear, you can increase your blood tinge by a little bit and be able to use that rifle spear. I don't really use the rifle spear very much, and I'm not really big on increasing my blood tinge just because I really only use my firearms for parry purposes. But some people do like to gear their builds more towards that, and there are some cool weapons later that are, you know, really geared off of your blood tinge stat. So, you know, you can do whatever you want, or you can follow my build. It's up to you. The game obviously gives you the flexibility to do just that. So, alright, here we are back in here in Old Yharnam. So we're going to go back down to our handy shortcut that we unlocked, and there's going to be a couple enemies that we're going to have to fight again, but, you know, for the most part, we're going to skip Djura, and we're going to skip everything we just did, and this is highly convenient. So as I said at the beginning of probably the first video, or maybe the second video, these shortcuts are really one of the game's primary markers of progress, because you can see just how much we're skipping just by going through this shortcut. And so of course if we lose to the boss, which hopefully we won't, but we might, this is a nice quick way to get back down to him. Alright, this beast that jumped out of the door here is ready for us. Uh-oh. Maybe a little too ready for us, but we took care of him quickly. Alright, so now, let's carry on over here. So through the smoke, there's an enemy waiting for us. Just run up and get him. He's a ghost enemy who roars. And we're not going to carry on straight through here. Let's go back around, and the reason for that is because there's a beast lurking over here. And we'll get him before proceeding. And you'll see he's got those red eyes, so he's a little bit stronger. He took a few more hits, and I believe he'll do a little bit more damage as well. So just be careful. Always be careful. Alright, there's an item over here. Some more quicksilver bullets. And up here, is another skull head. You'll see it on the stairs, so make sure you get him first, because if he runs away, there's no getting him back unless you quit and reload your game. So let's get him first. Some more bloodstone shards. And then let's explore over here, because there's some items. Some bold hunter's marks. The game knows it's about to be mean to us, so at least it's giving us some bold hunter's marks. How nice. Alright, so now we're going to go down here. And there's some stuff on along the edges here, including enemies, so just be on the lookout for that. There's one of them. They kind of blend in with the surroundings. They have the same sort of color palette as some of these bushes. Alright, and then there's some stuff on the other side. We're going to get it all. There's an item. There it is. Cold Blood Dew, Tier 3. Do want. And there's a guy that we actually passed on the way, but he was hard to see. There's another one right here. And he burned himself. Got a couple blood vials. Now, if you befriended Alfred earlier, he's going to pop up right here as a summon, and he can help you with the boss. It is risky, because if he dies against the boss, you're not going to be able to talk to him for the rest of the game, so I do not summon him. But if you're struggling with this boss, he might be able to lend you a helping hand, and if you can keep him alive during the boss fight, then you'll be able to carry on with this quest line later. But there is the possibility that he can die during the boss fight, and if he does die, then his quest line is over. So this is the only place for us to go. And you can see there's something down there waiting for us. And that would be the blood-starved beast. That is the next boss that we are going to fight in this game. This video is already going kind of long. I think we're going to save him for the next episode. So, again, thank you so much for joining me in this Bloodborne walkthrough. I really appreciate the support that you guys have given me so far throughout this video series. If you like what you see, please consider joining the squad by subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. I'd love to hear everybody's feedback. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and next time, part 6, we are going to take on that thing, and it is going to be lots of fun, so stay tuned.